Good morning, everybody. What's up? What is up? Here we have a lobby. Alack, alay. Alack, alay. That's like an old-timey way of saying alas.
A lack of a leg. Smile.
Thank you for the 73 months, Drum. It's my parents' anniversary today. So my dad made some bacon and biscuits for breakfast. I'm going to cook them dinner. They said they wanted lamb something, so I'll figure it out. Vegan hot dogs? I mean, the vegan substitutions for stuff are usually okay, but being from Chicago, I'm pretty passionate about my Vienna beefs. Like a lamb for dinner? It's like my mom said she wanted shish kebabs. So I need to find lamb that I can, like, cut up and grill. Austrian sausages? Nah, that was Ellie when she lived there. Kappa! Because they're not roll. They're actually a best of 5, and I just forgot to update the scoreboard. Never bet against me being incompetent. Fix it in a second. This is also Rage Forest, not the League. Yeah, I mean, that's all your fault. All about ketchup? Not in Chicago! It is very explicitly not about ketchup in Chicago. And on top of not liking ketchup on my hot dog, I don't like ketchup at all. Rage Forest 6-7. Oh no. Nah, always mustard on the hot dog. Although honestly, I've been doing stuff like putting gochujang on it. Like a hot dog with gochujang and some fried shallots on it. Actually really good. But I actually don't like full Chicago-style hot dogs because I don't like all the veggies on it. I don't like pickles. I don't like tomatoes. Onions are fine. I don't like the relish, which is cucumber anyway. Tomato-themed condiment, yeah. Is almost as refined as Europe. Yes, because the amount of ketchup on a hot dog shows your degree of refinement. For this series, I think it's going to be really good, actually. Both teams impressed me in the group stage. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another 3. Dash, do you need to go outside? Portillo? Oh, Portillo's is amazing. Your cholesterol will not thank you, but your stomach will. Sorry. I apologize for ruining everybody's Age of Empires experience again. Cranberry juice, I was. Although I finished it. Alright, let me get this set up real quick, and we will be on our way. Reminds you of you. Alright, I hear Chinese sounds. Here we are, guys. Playoff between two very good teams. Both went 3-1 in their group, I believe. We'll have No Zombie here for Team ACCM in the red as the Malians on the flank. Rinchi as the Yellow Huns in the pocket. ACCM as the Purple Mongols in the other pocket. And Menunez as the Orange Chinese on the north flank. At first blush, got a lot of sort of weaker civs, plus Mongols, like the best of the best civs. Vosotras. Meanwhile, for Team TaToH, we'll have Moray as the Blue Burgundians to the east. TaToH himself as the Green Japanese in the pocket, and yes, he will have a fish boom. Dr. Agenstar, PhD, as the Cyan Bulgarians in the other pocket, and Pajehu. You like the Finnish bouncy pronunciation. Alright, so let's take a gander here. Just 2 choke points. This one is a very wide choke point, though, so chances are one of these two players is likely going aggressive, and I would imagine No Zombie would want to do that, especially with this forward pond here for Grinchi. Yes, Japanese are a very good pocket civ in BF. Crazy eco with the fish boom. You got halbs, trebs, towers. All very powerful. Cav archers, depending on the situation. Don't see samurai too much, unfortunately. Pajehu. Oh, well. Hooray! Yeah, just the 2 choke points. Pretty narrow over here already. We have the big Wallapalooza going on. Nunez getting himself set up. And this is honestly going to suit Chinese quite well. Bills seem pretty similar between Moray and Orange. Him Pikachu? Yeah, that's fair. Looks like Moray should have a decent cast lifetime, so should Menunez, but yeah. The fact that Chinese are such a weak flank civ because of their inability to Vil fight effectively does mean that the fact that this is already a bit of a détente is good for Menunez. He'll have a much better chance of getting towards Chukonu and just walling up and defending and letting his team triple the other side and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, it's actually going to be Pajehu. Going to be going for the initial tower rush as No Zombie's looking to wall up. Vietnamese are a better flank than Malians, just better at the sorts of units that flank flanks. Rattan archers, bombard cannons, elephants, fire lancers, all that good stuff. Just a good solid middle tier flank civ. Malians, they just don't quite have... They're not like a good... I mean, like, Kabetos can be a good range support unit, but it's a little tricky to get going. Lack of bracer, obviously, is a big issue. No halb is unfortunate as well for a flank civ. But Kabeto pressure on low eco can actually be quite powerful. So they're not hopeless, for sure. And looks like Dragonstar will be going aggressive. Looks like all pockets will have a happy little fish boom. Tower spam. This is a deathmatch. Anything that's available in Age of Empires is available to these players. But yeah, pocket combos, Japanese Bulgarians is quite strong. Interestingly, though, you have an infantry siege civ in Bulgarians and an infantry and tower civ as Japanese. So are we going to see Bulgarians actually open cavalry? I mean, I guess you can go into siege onagers later, and you do have the cheap SO upgrade, so maybe you could conceivably try going for, like, Cavalier, Siege Onager, and then switch into Konix later. Trojan Hell, thank you so much for the raid, and welcome and good morning to everybody. Got ourselves a great RF best of 5. Yeah, I'm really curious as to what they plan on doing with this, because, I mean, like, TaToH, he's going to do Japanese things. He is the team captain. He is the best player. He's going to have a very good boom here. Grinchi and ACCM, the Raider civs, Huns and Mongols. Very straightforward. You make Paladins as Huns, and then you get into Megadai and Siege as ACCM. Now, the balancing act of which you prioritize first is really tough, and Mongols are actually a very difficult civ to play on BF. Wait, Bulgarians or Malians have better Cavalier? Oh, they are slightly better at different things. They trade pretty evenly. But, yeah, it depends a little bit on what you're attacking. Basically, they're both top-tier Cavalier, so they're better than the, like... In general, they're better than, like, Celt and Byzantine Paladins, but worse than all the other actual Paladins. Castle coming in here for no zombie. It is going to be Gebetto time. Versus Farimba. Yeah, so those, the techs more or less cancel each other out. If I recall correctly from testing, Stirrups is, like, slightly better. But more importantly, we're just talking about a pocket versus a flank, so we're unlikely to see, you know, Cavalier v Cavalier, or at least not in the same time frame. Farimba's +5, but you miss Blast Furnace, so in effect it's +3 relative to a regular, fully upgraded Cavalier. Anyway, TC number 2 coming in here from Dr. Agenstar, as indeed he is continuing this bit of pressure. And because this choke point is so wide, you can actually just push on this side with the Mangonels while being defended on the other side by Pahehu. So I'm liking this here. And I like both these teams. Can they both win? But yeah, look at Team ACCM's eco at the moment, guys. Huge fish boom here. Huge fish boom here. And this difference is in no small part due to Dragonstar being the aggressor. They were just power creep? Yeah, basically. I really like Malians. Both playing them and casting them. They actually feel balanced. But yeah, thus far, no zombie. Able to defend here just fine. Force investment on this side, but Pahehu will add the extra TCs in the back. Bohemians for free. Well, the thing with Malians is that I was in conjunction with an extremely powerful eco bonus with the building discount. So the context is a little bit different. It's the primary eco bonus for Bohemians, where it was the secondary eco bonus for Malians. Besides, I like the Malian bonus they have now more. They get effectively longer lasting gold as well, which helps them in 1v1s in late game where they're a little bit weaker. Anyway, Knights are going to try and chase down the Kapinga Flingers. Obviously very low HP. Good snipes there. It's 80 gold per tile. Yeah, basically. So, like, the way it works is it is faster gather rate, extra carry capacity, and longer lasting resources all in one. So your gold miners work 10% faster, carry plus 10. He's just walling. Plus 10%, and then also the resources last longer. So it's actually a really nice bonus. The Mapuche have the same thing, essentially. For Forge Witches, obviously. Yeah, blue's just walling. Booming is definitely better for Manuas. Like, this feels so good for Chinese. Like, as somebody who actually enjoys playing Chinese, like, the more you can just chill and get to your Chuko new blob and not worry about that pressure, that's going to feel so good against a civ like Burgundians, who are going to want to leverage some sort of timing with gunpowder units.
Bonjour.
But yeah, Team ACCM, 60 plus villagers ahead. Will we weak on Black Forest? I mean, I have no idea. They're not likely going to have gunpowder, which would indicate they are weaker on closed maps, but, I mean, we have no idea, like, how all the regions, regional units are doing, etc. Anyway, the booming here from the pockets is, of course, very, very good for Team ACCM. We do have both on the way to the Imperial Age. Now, what's going to be nice for the Huns plus Mongols combo is that Huns are a pretty fast civ. So in early Imperial Age, that cavalry spam is going to buy time for Mongols to get up online, as Mongols are just a lot slower to actually get to their army. Yeah, big old walls coming in here from Orange. It's TC from Dragonstar who's trying to catch up in Vils, but, I mean, it's not like he invested so much into the aggression. But, I mean, you can just see right here, oh, the Gebetos actually found their way in and are sniping some fish. I mean, this is just the fish boom difference. We're looking at 90 fishing ships versus 50, and that represents most of the Vil gap. TaToH is walled up over there. Looks like he is going to open Cav Archers, which is fine. But this feels really awkward for them already. It's just the fish boom difference is staggering. Meanwhile, Grungy, of course, going to be just opening with his cavalry. And ACCM is ostensibly going to be focusing on the onagers to start things off, which I like, right? Huns, they don't do onagers. So if you focus on onagers, that's going to leverage that timing advantage even more that you can get with the Huns here. You cut through the forests and just let the Hun player flood in with their sick eco and fast-working stables. Red is going to be slow to get the eco going behind this. Grays should be better, but it's actually not by that much. Ahehu didn't lose that much, but yeah, just a little bit slower. Gebetos continuing to be annoying here, and I gotta say, like, No Zombie's been doing work with these Gebetos. Absorbing the pressure, allowing his allies to get the big fish booms and the Imperial Age timings. He's actually done a ton this game, even though he is bottom score, and that's the fun thing with RF. Or BF. You can see Drill going to Siege Onagers before Mangudai. TaToH is going to need to get some Halbs ready to deal with the Paladins, and of course, you know, Japanese Halbs are very good against Paladins. But the timing is slightly off. Onager isn't in quite yet. And the Halbs are here. Now, the Gebetos are going to be a good anti-Halb support unit, but there aren't that many of them. The fortified walls definitely feel a little bit late. Onagers are also going to be good against Halbs, but is TaToH going to be well enough prepared here to buy the time that his team needs? And fight left? Yeah, basically, they're just walling like crazy. Husband... Oh, Cav Archers from Manuna? I just want to see him go Chuko new, man! I want the chucks! The woodchucks! Alright, Blast Furnace, heavy rocket cart here for Orange as well. Remember, the damage for Chinese rocket carts is very good. The 25% extra damage they get with rocketry, it's multiplicative. So it's 25% more base attack for every single rocket, and also 25% more bonus damage. But you are missing the range with Siege Engineers. Anyway, looks like he is going to be trying to get to Yasuma. TaToH, he's got the halbs to hold the line for now. This is where the drill onagers are super important. Is ACCM here too, but he's running into the arrow fire. Oh, and that wall just was not... Okay, well, that one's fine. Never mind. It's all good. And TaToH needs to hold the line right here. He is at 157 vills in max pop. Got the fully upgraded Hun Paladins, but right now, they're not doing a whole lot as TaToH's halbs are absolutely crushing it. This is a very efficient fight for TaToH. Even, I don't even think the Paladins are going to win. Well, it's going to be close. Moral of the story, it's extremely efficient there for TaToH. Meanwhile, there really isn't a whole lot that's interesting over here. Both players are just all focused on the defense. Gonna snipe the Treb there, and we do have more siege coming forward from the pockets. Richie gonna get another castle up over there. Ah, okay, here's a cut attempt. And to be fair, this is not fully walled. I mean, it's kind of awkward because the woods kind of extend all the way over here, but yeah. You could also conceivably try and cut towards the edge to give yourself a bit better trade. But yeah, Menunez playing that solo-style Chinese flank. All right, we got the grill siege onagers here for ACCM, but the heaps are here. There's also a little bit of a hill to just further amplify their damage. And Japanese are a very tough civ to push into. Castle there goes down for Gray. And Red is on his way up to Imp. So Pahehu, definitely not loving life. No Zombie's been doing work here on the flank in the supporting role. Onager now in here for Cyan. And at this point, the good doctor should be getting close to fully boomed. But now we're just going to be looking at two civs making halves. Now, that's going to make Huns very unhappy because what are they going to do, man? But once the siege starts coming in more for ACCM, we could start to see Mangudai. And the Mangudai will just mow down all that stuff. Well, that's a big splat. And this cut was successful. Now, we do have two castles here defensively, some Coustelier. Now, Coustelier versus Paladins is kind of a toss-up. The Paladins are more pop efficient, but Coustelier are very cost efficient. But they also come from castles. In general, you would prefer... Like, in a vacuum, you'd probably prefer Coustelier for the shock value. Like, just the big burst damage. But it's still not going to be the best. And these Chinese Cav Archers are at least pretty good. Just missing Parthian TikToks. And meanwhile, Team ACCM is continuing to pressure. Gray is not loving life. Still in the Castle Age, even. More halbs dying to the onagers of ACCM. Now that could be a big hit. Actually only kills 2 SO. Well, it's going to be a third. And Team TaToH, they are struggling, guys. Siege Onager's coming in for Dragonstar, but he's just too slow. I mean, it's all about the fish boom, guys. Oh yeah, this is great for Menunez for sure. Got 3 castles here now for Moray, though. That's a lot of siege that can be built to push this back. But now you got a Elite Gebeto in. Again, the Gebetos are a really solid support unit. The actual DPS is very high. Have a crepe post. Yeah, no halbs over here whatsoever. The Hun player doesn't want to go halbs, and the Mongol player can't go halves. So we really have to wonder why on earth we're opening halves as Dragonstar instead of going into Cavalier or Konix. It feels like you really are missing that heavy cav component that would be so much more effective. Konix are good against Paladins. They trade efficiently versus them. Oh, jeez. Oh. Gotta love Siege Onagers, man. TaToH coming in here with Kataparuto, but he has a little bit of an army quality issue where the best thing he can make at the moment are just Halbs and semi-generic Cav Archers. Now, the Cav Archers are good against these Cav Archers, for instance, but TaToH needs to be doing something more powerful than dealing with this push over here. Because this side is completely collapsing. And this is looking like a Team ACCM game number 1. Siege Onagers are also actually pretty good at destroying buildings, kind of underrated aspect of them. Yeah, this is looking pretty darn over. The trade line is right here as well, remember. This is so annoying from Menunez, it's great. Being annoying in AoE 2 is a compliment. In-game. Out-of-game, well, not so much. Yeah, no Elite Custelier even. Not that it really matters all that much. These units aren't doing a whole lot. And now the Mangudai switch is coming in. They're already fully upgraded here for ACCM. But I love the siege-heavy approach at first because it complements the Hun Paladin and the timing. In 1800. There's a lot of players who literally just don't play 1v1s at all. Even though Pahehu is, you know, much lower rated than I am, I'm sure he's a better player than me. I am quite confident that he's a better player overall. But yeah, there's just a lot of people who literally never play 1v1s. And because they're all lobby games, their team game rating also doesn't really matter that much. Anyway, now we're looking at, like, kind of a 2-to-1 difference instead of a 3-to-1 difference, as this side is starting to crumble. It's buying some good time. Orange really having to fall back at the moment. But Dragonstar got nothing. 50+ pop. Gray's reboomed in terms of villager count, but it has nothing to contribute militarily. And the trade is also, again, right here. So it really is feeling like a Team ACCM game number 1. They also add in some Champ Scarls. I don't recommend running into Castle Fire like that. Well, the Japanese Cav Archers are going to be nice and heading off the Mongol Cav Archers. I'm pretty sure they do win, by the way, Japanese Cav Archers versus Mangudai. Heihei's going to try and go Elephants, but the numbers are simply not there. Preposts are good at stalling. Yasuma Towers are good at stalling, but again, there's just a very real limit to how much you can do with the numbers that you have. We can take him in a fist fight? Oh yeah, for sure. Well, some Custelier coming over here, but the army value difference is also getting quite staggering. The rate is just not very good. 68 gold per trip versus, what are we looking at? 113? Yeah, it's kind of a big difference. Doing well today? What happened with ACCM yesterday? Mangudai, they do? I guess the fire rate difference is just good enough. Because Mangudai aren't really all that great versus Magyar or Turk or Tatar Cav archers. And you think the Japanese ones would be even better. Like the value for Mangudai is the siege bonus and their overall DPS being extremely high as a supporting unit. Not necessarily in like the Cav Archer v Cav Archer fighting. Which, as much as I love AOC, Mangudai is actually a more balanced role. Mangudai have one more... No, they don't. What are you talking about? The Mangudai have 4 total Pierce Armor. You have 6 Pierce Armor as generic Cav Archers. Anyway, ACCM, pretty good KD right there. Overall kills extremely high for Grinchy, and that was a dominant team performance there. I still think the MVP, though, is humble little No Zombie. The fact that he was able to defend so effectively... You know, this push here from... Which one am I T West? Yeah. Yeah, being able to defend here was so critical, though. Just opened things up for the pockets to have a super clean push into the base of Pahehu. Well done, well done. %, to my viewing audience? Yeah, I mean, the viewership is generally negligible on YouTube, but I like having a record of all my casts. Because the Twitch VODs get deleted eventually. You can suddenly do math in my head, huh? The draft. Alright, that was Mongols and a bunch of low-tier picks. So yeah, Malians winning, Chinese winning, and Huns. I mean, Huns are kind of like, you know, they're still a role player civ, but that's a nice win for Team ACCM. Meanwhile, it should be probably pretty evenly distributed there, with Japanese losing and Man, Bulgarians really fell off. And then the flanks were Burgungans and Vietnamese. Why that isn't loading properly, but AoE 2 CM is not quite as loadable as we would like at times. Oh, now I have to do all the frickin' X's and stuff again. Alright, that's Mongols and Huns and Malians and Chinese over Japanese and Bulgarians and Vietnamese and Burgundians. As a quant at Goldman Sachs? I don't know about that. I wonder when we're going to hear more information about the next DLC. Because when was it announced? I feel like what you don't want to do is announce something and then just do nothing for it for like too long a time. July 30th. And we've got nothing. Seems kind of weird. Hello, Mirtine. Yeah, Team ACCM and Team TaToH both went 3-1. 9-3 and 8-4. And the winner will face Team Valos. Every single set has been a 3-2 thus far, though, and honestly, I would not be surprised if this one is too. We got everyone in the lobby, so I don't know why you're not starting the game. Just saying. You killed the Lord. Oh no, what did you do? You beat down on Arena? Oh no. Low numbers, no micro. The HCA win. High numbers or micro, and Magnet wins to attack speed, lower delay. Yeah, that's sort of what I expected. All right, guys, here we are. Game number 2 in this best of 5. Winning the first one in very decisive fashion. We'll have Team ACCM with No Zombie once again on the flank. He will be the Aztecs here in the red. Grinchy's going to be in the yellow as the Magyar's in the pocket. ACCM is going to be rocking the Turks pocket. Interesting. Turks, one of those civs that can conceivably be both flank and pocket. And then Menunez is the orange way on the south flank. It feels like the way would be the pocket and Turks would be the flank, but way are just kind of bad no matter what, and Turks are kind of good no matter what. So, yeah. Both teams have a forward pond here. Meanwhile, looking for some revenge, we'll have Moray in the gray as the Hindustanis on the south flank. Dr. Agenstar, PhD, as the Cyan Celts in the pocket. The TaToH as the green Tadar is in the other pocket. And Pahehu as the blue Byzantines on the north flank. So, 3 choke points on this map, pretty straightforward. One over here, one over here, and one over here. Pond Sitch is 2 per team. You have 2 pawns right here for Moray. And you got a pond right here for Menunez, which is likely going to be tough to take. This pond as well is also going to be tough to take. So realistically, I imagine that we're going to have Dragonstar Fishboom in this pond, and we're going to have Grinchy Fishboom in this pond, or I guess ACCM could just walk over here and Fishboom as well. Moray, yeah, he told me that's how it's pronounced. He's been in my chat a few times. Like, imagine there's like an Agu accent on the E. Well, Morville fighting over here. Short for Moreno. Ah, that would make sense. Elephant. Rhino coming in. I know I'm pachyderms. Alright, so it looks like a good wall position here for Pahehu versus No Zombie. Oh, but No Zombie is a Villhead. Anyway, Civ time! Byzantines versus Aztecs. This is interesting because I feel like the Civs are of pretty similar quality, but they're so different. I mean, both can go fast imp monks. Yes, I get that. But whereas Byzantines are going to be great at defending and holding the line and having super efficient armies, Aztecs give you a better eco and more powerful units in general. But it's going to be tough to actually get there. So Byzantines are probably a smoother civ to play, with Aztecs having a bit of a higher ceiling as the game goes on. That said, in theory, if it does get to a bunch of cataphracts, yeah, they're going to steamroll Aztecs. Pachyderm is obsolete. Is it? What? Anyway, Wei flank versus Hindustani flank. Hindustanis I like. They're solid. They're good in the Vil fight due to the early game discount, like on your villagers, so it's just easier to sustain production when you have so few Vils under the TC. And then as the game goes on, hand cannons with Chautauqua, bombard cannons. You could go Cav archers as well. I mean, yes, camels are there if you need them. And you can add caravanserais to the team, which are super insane. Vegetables, biologically not a thing. Interesting. Well, I mean, like, but that doesn't mean something isn't useful. Like, vegetable is still an extremely useful term, and so is fish. It's like, botanically, tomatoes are a fruit. But when you're preparing a meal, which is what most people do with tomatoes, they're a vegetable. Anyway, ACCM is trying to fish boom over here, so brave for you. Not a berry? But it fills the same role as a berry. Also, strawberries are wonderful. I will hear no strawberry slander. Right, Menunez fighting this one back over here. But yeah, definitely like Hindustanis a lot more than Wei. The reason I also mentioned camels especially is because obviously Wei are a cav civ, so in theory there is an opportunity for camels to show up. Do with the seeds? I guess the strawberry seeds are on the outside of the strawberry, whereas for berries it's like on the inside? Anyway, Celt plus Tatars. Again, I'm really confused as to why TaToH's in the paladin position, as Sensar would say. Like, normally this is where you stick your weakest player mechanically. That said, what you can do from this position is, because it's the least micro-intensive, you can sort of dictate things around and be the field general. How many Vil losses to the south? Yeah. 1 to 2, so 2 losses for both. You look here, Orange is on 21 Vils, Gray's on 22 Vils, so, you know, slight advantage here to Moray. Power of Hindustanis. But yeah, as I suspected, Dragonstar's gonna be booming up over here. But yeah, Celt Tatars, so basically, top tier Halb Siege Civ. Celt's still one of the very best BF Civs, even after all this time, same with Mongols. Tatars, I mean, I like Tatars a lot, but I just don't rate them that highly. Keshiks are cost efficient, but very slow to get going, and they also lose to Paladins, like here from Grinchy. You can go for Camels as well, and you can go for Cav Archers. But Tatars are still a civ that are generally designed to be better in 1v1s than in team games. Magyars definitely fill that Paladin role better, and can also go Cav Archers as needed. It's not like Tatars have an insane eco either. But that leaves Turks versus Celts, because again, these are two very, very strong civs, but they're different. With Turks, it's all about the efficient, long-range gunpowder options, whereas Celts smash you in the face with a bunch of infantry and siege, with a strong eco behind it. So both Civs can absolutely carry, but they're just a little bit different. Wait, hold on. ACCM's going aggressive here. I guess he wants to protect the fish boom. Yeah, this is going to be for a castle drop in Janissaries. Which aren't related. That call for Pachyderm? Nope. Comanse? But yeah, Turks plus Magyars compared to Tatars plus Celts. The Civs have a very clear role for Tatars plus Celts. I'm just kind of curious as to what ACCM is going to be doing with his castle. Come the Vills. Keshik kills Paladin. It does not win 1v1 against a Paladin. 3 less attack, what, 15 less HP, and 1 less melee armor. Keshiks do move faster, which is nice. Anyway, double tower. Three TCs here already for green, though. Doesn't have a fish boom, though. Pachydermatitis. Alright, here is Castle Age. And are the walls all down yet? Is the castle going to come in here, or is he going to try and punch the wall first? Okay, castle's just going to come down right there. I was wondering if maybe he'd try to get it over in this gap, but nope. It's going to be very aggressive play from the pocket. The aggression last game did not work out for Dragonstar, but ACCM thinks he can do it better. Dragonstar's already going to have a defensive siege workshop here, though. More towers coming in, and the forward walls initially from Moray are a big help. Meanwhile, No Zombie is not going for a fast imp, interestingly, whereas we are seeing that from... No, I'm not seeing it from Pahehu. I thought this would be for Imperial Age Pie, but no, this is just for regular old aggression. Could have been more for it. It's the question of, do you risk... Because this wall wasn't down yet, so they'd have to take the time to destroy the wall and then try and build the castle forward when there's already a tower here. So if the siege workshop had been faster, it's just a bit riskier. Anyway, Janissaries are coming in. Build count is even between the two teams. Dragonstar is still going to be booming up. And ACCM is off of stone completely, which I do find a little concerning, because it feels like if you have your team captain on Turks and they're not getting themselves towards late game, that feels pretty bad. Big old walls here for No Zombie, who's just booming away. But you got tons of walls here from Moray. I mean, Moray's base is also pretty far back, so like you could stall even more. Couple Janny's gonna come out and be annoying. The good doctor must pay attention! One petard will blow this up, remember. Well, for another minute or so. Because Castle Age is going to come. And ACCM on 1 TC, although he's still adding in more fish. This just doesn't feel good for ACCM at all. Waiting until 2 Mangonels to give you a bit of a surprise. No Zombie does have a Monk out, but I doubt it has any of the upgrades it needs. Yeah, no Sanctity or Redemption yet. And those Mangonels are a-coming. Totement's also going to be in here. Power is essential.
But nay,
Redemption's coming in. The tower will buy a little more time. ACCM is doing... I don't either. This just feels so slow. Like, Dragonstar's cruising. He invested into a defensive Mangonel and, for some reason, a defensive Ram. I mean, his fish boom isn't, like, crazy, but, I mean, he's fine. He's on TC, 63 vills to 57. I guess, yeah, ACCM's fish boom is a lot better. More defenses coming in right there. That Aztec monk did convert to Orthodox Christianity. No atonement yet. Oh, it's queued up after that monk even. This could be getting tricky here for No Zombie. At the better end of Pahehu in the first game, but Blue looking for some good revenge here. There's atonement now coming in. When does a converted monk keep faith? So if the monk is converting, like in the process of converting something, it will lose all of the faith. If the monk isn't converting anything in the first place, then it keeps the faith. Which makes it all the more important to be microing your monks properly. Because if you... Giving up a monk with 0 faith is a lot less painful than giving up a monk that still has full faith. Yeah, see, right there. See, that monk wasn't converting anything, and it kept all its faith. Or if the monk is, like, if the monk doesn't have full faith, like it's recharging still, then, it just stays the same. See, like right there. Scout Cab coming in here from TaToH. TaToH gonna come in with a forward castle, but the defense from red is coming in. I mean, blues is still at a pretty good bill count. TaToH's first castle is going to be forward, and of course, the faster you can get the Keshiks to the front line, the better. TaToH also had 104 vills without a fish boom. This TaToH guy is pretty good at AoE, too. But yeah, just now the second TC coming in for ACCM. He is going to be an imp, and he is going to try and go for this push. But I'm a little concerned that this is just... the fact that this is coming from the pocket versus the flank makes it so much weaker, as Team TaToH is a healthy Vil lead at the moment. Eating enough? That I would definitely recommend eating enough. Some of us, like me, eat too much. Had 2 sausage rolls and a bunch of fries last night, but, you know, I had a tough day. .45 wall coming in, and you need to hold the line. Right, hold on, what? This has to be a misclick. No way TaToH is opening infantry as Tadars. I simply refuse to accept it. The sausage roll? Well, the sausage roll was Italian sausage, it wasn't a hot dog. And then the roll was a French roll and not a hot dog bun. So it's just a bit of a different sausage and a bit of a different roll. It was a larger sausage and a larger roll. Anyway, fortified walls coming in here as the big old walls of Hindustan for Moray. Big old walls here from red as well, but it's a 70 villager lead for Team TaToH, and I feel like Moray is going to be doing a good job of defending here. 126 fills for Dragonstar. He's going to be up to Imp in the not terribly distant future. You can actually think about Woad Raiders as well. Halbs aren't going to do anything for you. At least not right now. Orange doesn't have too much of an eco. A Scottish fried I don't know. It's grilled sausage on a French roll. Like, it's pretty straightforward. More Rams coming in here from TaToH. Okay, yeah, he's going Cav Archers. The infantry armor was a misclick. What happened yesterday? I'm actually not in good spirits right now. I'm actually pretty depressed, but I am pretending otherwise to maintain a positive environment on the channel. Alright, Paladin's here from yellow. And we'll be trying to focus this side. So once again, it's going to be one player focused on defending. This time it's no zombie instead of Menunez. The Claptrap School of Spirits? Exactly. My programmers made this my default tone of voice. I'm actually quite depressed. Alright, Paladin's on the way. We do have 2 castles, so maybe Dragonstar was thinking about Road Raiders, but now that the Paladins are going to show up, yeah, you're going to need to get the Halbs. And here we are. More petards coming in, but they're not really doing that much. And right now, the defensive no zombie, I mean, it's ugly, right? Just having this huge layer of fortified walls. Not even Imperial Age to get block fronting. And in fact, Pahehu's an imp. Will likely be getting, block printing himself in a moment. But you're buying time. This side, uh-oh. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. Yeah, at this point, just snipe the docks. For sure. Danny's can take down the ships. Onager coming in here from Cyan, Team ACCM trying to make it happen. And ACCM himself, he's on 98 Vils. His eco isn't amazing, but in the context of him not really losing many units, it's not bad. And like, Dragonstar's eco's horrible now. Losing this fish boom is just not something that you could afford to let happen. I mean, okay-ish Onager hit right there, but not good enough. The Paladins from Grinchy are flooding in, and this might be exactly what Team ACCM needs. More siege rams coming in, but, I mean, again, you're literally defending with Castle Age against 2 Imperial Age opponents. It's not going to happen forever, but you are buying a ton of time right now here as no zombie. This actually is walled. Well, the trees. And now Moray forced to fall back. Just add in a bunch of extra TCs there. Yeah, TaToH is literally just running smash head first into these fortified walls. He's gonna break through, though. Eventually. And here they are. They've finally broken through. I mean, no zombie's done a great job of stalling, but there's still, only so much you can do. And Gray still has 20 more Vils than Red. Even though Gray has completely lost his base, Red will lose his pretty soon. And this could be exactly what Team TaToH needs, meanwhile. Not sure about this wall. Yeah, so it's all CA here for TaToH. He's actually missing several important upgrades still with the defense. I really just checked if the Tatar player had thumb ring. I'm so smart. And Gray's walling as well. The Halbs are here at the front. No siege at all for Celts, though, other than these traps, of course. That feels a little scary. The Pahi and BBT now coming in here from ACCM, who is slowly but steadily creeping towards max pop. But is this good enough? This is a lot of Cav Archers coming in now from TaToH. But the Halbs just not in sufficient numbers. There are 68 Paladins on the field for the Magyars player Grinchy. That is not a messing around number of Paladins, that's for darn sure. But tried to sell Stone. Oh, tragic. Well, Castle, they're going to get sniped pretty quickly with all those bombard cannons, but Grinchy, not the best eco ever, but he's got so many Paladins that there simply are not enough Halbs to deal with all of them. This is where the beauty of Age of Empires is that Halbs hard counter paladins, and yet they're still not population efficient versus them. So you do get these odd situations that still, we have the production right here, and, I mean, it's still an efficient fight for Dragonstar. TaToH, only 20 Cav Archers over here is actually not that much. Again, the stalling here has just been so insane. Like, Red is, like, pretty dead. But Dragonstar's got nothing. Losing all of those fish and losing all of that food income associated with it is just so painful. Okay, now you got fully upgraded TaToH Cav Archers. TaToH has 57 of them, but they're split between two different fronts at the moment. Ray's got nothing. Cyan's got nothing. And right now, Team ACCM is kind of making this happen. And I thought ACCM's approach was a bit odd, but to his credit, this push happened fast. I mean, he had to make it happen. The stalling was pretty good from Moray, but eventually you just kind of, like, you just got to this area, and it was just impossible to defend this area. It's just not feasible. Whereas Red was holding the line with this huge layer of fortified walls so effectively. And now this is happening. So, yeah. Yeah, now the Turk stuff is happening. I mean, Dragonstar's on 92 Vils. He's going to really struggle to get to his Celt Death Ball. Oh, you have John Bay the Raider. I mean, they're going to be pretty bad here. They should, in fact, be really bad against the TaToH Cav Archers with all their Pierce Armor. 9 attack versus 7 Pierce Armor, so after the initial volley of arrows, you'll deal 2 damage a hit. I mean, Onagers can always be scary, no matter what civ you are. Only just now Blast Burns coming in, and of course, ACCM's KD, it has to be pretty silly. Yeah, 3.85 KD. TaToH's is also good. Grinchy's, for being a Paladin player, is actually really good as well. But looking at this again, guys. It's the flank players. It's Menunez now, with a little bit of assistance from Grinchy, that are continuing to hold the line here in the north. Right? It's the classic case of which side is dying faster, this side or this side, and I think it's pretty clear which one is dying faster, as we have how many bombards? 10 bombard cannons from ACCM. 12 in total, so we've got more scooching forward, I'm sure, somewhere. Meanwhile, Blue also trying to get the bombard cannon numbers up, and he's at 9, which is not bad. And yet now you even have these keeps coming in. Way keeps aren't all that great. But the bombard tower is also from ACCM. That's going to be so good at stalling this side. You're actually still missing Bloodlines and Husbandry as ACCM, so he's still missing some upgrades. Needs to remember those staple upgrades, but other than that, yeah, he's going to have fully upgraded Turk Cav Archers. Red TC in the north? Ah, that's what this wall was for. It was to give himself a nice little Tom Nook. Anyway, Gray's also trying to try and come back online. No Shatagni in yet, though. And Timorid Siegecraft. Not that TaToH has any trebuchets. But yeah, this is just so freaking scary. Now Grinchy's only on only 56 paladins, but now you've got the eco to better sustain that, which feels really important. Yeah, Team ACCM is just looking so sick here. Gray's Resurgence might buy enough time, though, for Dragonstar to come back online. But still, it's just these buildings are slowly but steadily going down all over the place. The bombard towers, of course, just do good, consistent damage. They're also good against buildings, by the way. And Behehu, I mean, you're trying to push here with Byzantines, which just isn't the fastest prospect ever. You're trying to get trade established along this axis, which also isn't that bad. But it's still going to be worse than trade that... Well, actually, where's the trade running? Okay, the trade is going from here to here. So this still should be better, I think, for Team ACCM. I can see a full trade cart. That would be helpful. 134 gold per trip, so yeah, that's basically a full map trade. Or at least as close as you can realistically get on BF versus 68, yeah. Still, we have 3 players here, green, gray, and cyan. Is it enough? Team TaToH do have a pop lead. Gray's actually almost max pop. The Tadar and Turk Cav Archers should trade evenly with the same upgrades, but ACCM is still missing Bloodlines and Husbandry, so his Cav Archers are actually worse than TaToH's. Still have this wall of Bombard Towers for Tutu, but look at this, the Ram train has left the station. You know that Dragonstar is all about downloading that Ram, but the Paladins are here at the front and the meat shield is kind of disappearing. Oh, those siege rams are just getting cut down by the Paladins. Even though they are Celt siege rams, it's just, you know, it's a lot of Paladin. Meanwhile, this push is still slowly happening, but now we have the traction trebs as well, which are going to be the exact unit you want to just slow this down indefinitely. Now, a lot of the bombards have gone down for ACCM, but Gray is also losing his. I don't think we have any Caravanserais either. No way Gray could get that online. Just opening the trade route even more, which I like from Menunez. Castle trying to hold the line. It is with strongholds. It's healing the injured spearmen. But yeah, it's just this choke point at the north. So tough to stop. Good bombard cannon hits there, though. Fort to Torrent. Yep. Creek Fire. Let's go. Gotta get those bombard tower upgrades by Behehu. Oh, the gate's locked! No! No, don't free the Rams! And Red's finally also clicking up to Imperial Age. Alright, big push happening. Team TaToH does have the numbers advantage because Red's still coming back online. A lag is coming in. Good bombard cannon hits there. 50 kills on these 4 bombard cannons, but is it enough? It's a 3v2 here. Red trying to rebuild, but that seems to be snuffed out real quick by Behehu. Got an Onager here, but is it enough, guys? It's so many bombard towers. I mean, Celt Rams are one of the best answers you could have versus them. You have full upgrades on them. Bombard cannons doing what they can to snipe the siege rams as well. But is it enough? We still have 15 more rams queued up. That's a lot of ram. Dragonstar doesn't care about the ram prices, guys. It might be enough. It really might. Onager is getting sniped. I mean, this side is starting to fall, but ACCM's team's population is really dropping. And with all these towers getting cleaned up. Uh-oh, and you also have the ICBM trebs coming in. I mean, just the siege rams just don't stop, guys. It's exactly what you need. You need, like, relentless siege ram production. They're simply... like, the Paladins just can't survive long enough. And right now, guys, Team TaToH, who's in a terrible spot, way worse trade, they're pushing this back. Paladins all died to halbs and cav archers and hand cannons. There's just way too much damage coming at them. Wow, this is a really sick push from Team TaToH. Cav Archer standing tall. Red's on a huge Vil count, but is still kind of stuck, scattered out all over the place with no army. I mean, this is still a stalemate, but now you have Elite Cataphract in. They're not going to be especially great versus the Xianbei Raiders, but I guess they're just a good unit in general. Has to come in with Siege Onager? Yeah, I mean, Red doesn't have the res for that. And here we are, guys. The Siege Rams are a-coming. The best unit at demolishing enemy bases. I mean, I love it. Like, this is exactly what you needed, so whether that was Dragonstar's idea or one of his teammates, it was perfect. The Cav Archers, the hand cannons, and a few halves mixed in is what you needed to do damage to the Paladins, and the Rams are what you needed to clean up all the buildings. Wow. What a sick, sick push here. This is still a stalemate. It's not like Orange is pushing this anytime soon. Not the freaking way. More BBC getting sniped. And also, honestly, huge, huge mistake from ACCM not to have Bloodlines and Husbandry. Lose such a lead? Well, I mean, this is the downside, right? Red did such a good job of stalling, but eventually, Gray came back online. Gray kept the Vils alive, and was able to come in, and the hand cannons and bombard cannons were just enough to hold this area right here. Oh no, this train ain't get... Guys, there are 32 fully upgraded Celt Siege Rams. They're not going down quick. Not at all. Like, the buildings are just getting erased by Dragonstar. Team TaToH claims the score lead. Calling it? The trade's right here. And if you're stuck trading here to here, that is going to be really, really bad. I would love to see Caravanserai come in, as it can really help mitigate a bad trade route. But even just expanding the trade route to this corner as Team TaToH would be a huge win. Also, the heavy camels coming in for Hindustanis. Like I said, situationally, they are still very powerful. I mean, what a sick play from Team TaToH. I mean, both these teams are so fun to watch. I mean, it's just, you can't push here is the issue. Like, Byzantines were really bad when they needed to push, but as soon as the Byzantines just had to stall because the other side was winning, then suddenly Wei can't push. And Red has just not really gotten back into the game very quickly at all. Now, we do have the Chicken Suit Men coming in. They're just missing Garland Wars. But where are the hand cannons? Yeah, the hand cannons need to get here. You could also maybe conceivably switch into some swordsmen as Celts. I mean, this is glorious, guys. Paladins here are finally going to start to clean up the Rams. Finally. And now we got Imp Camel in. And guys, no Halbs from yellow. No Halbs from purple, obviously. Like, honestly, Imp Camels are pretty insane against this comp. They're bad against the Eagle Warriors. Well, I mean, Imp Camels and Eagle Warriors are pretty bad against each other. Hey, Guancav coming in. Ah, a bit of a cut over here as well. I really don't think this should matter too much. It's still really tough to push from this angle. I mean, I guess there are fewer towers over here and the markets are there as well. So I think it makes sense overall, but I just don't think you're really going to be able to push this. How did Team TaToH turn this around? Did you not see the 30-something siege rams come in? Remember the bit where there were like 30+ siege rams and they like destroyed 25 bombard towers in a few minutes? On their toes? I mean, again, like, Blue's job right now is just to hold the line. Was really struggling when he had to push, but as soon as it was, you know, that was not something he had to do, he's been doing great. Which, I mean, Byzantines are a terrible civ for pushing, so it's not like Bahei, who's a big noob. ACCM still missing his Bloodlines and Husbandry upgrades, by the way. Not that I think that is decisive, but it's not ideal. Now the Celt Siege Onager is coming in. I mean, this is just, mwah, chef's kiss. And actually, Blue is starting to push here. I got some more Byzantine bombards coming in. The BBBT. I mean, sniping the Vils is something, but yeah. ACCM choked? I mean, they just couldn't push fast enough. Not really a choke, it's just they got outplayed by Team TaToH. Anyway, GG called, Team TaToH gets the win, and I mean, that was as impressive as you could ask for. ACCM had a sick KD, but no Zombie could not come back into the game until way too late, even after all the great stalling. Blue made the push happen. Gray was able to save enough villagers to come back just in the nick of time with the hand cannoneers and bombard cannons. Like, it was just in time. Really, really cool. Wait, what was this? Were there markets there? No idea. We sure do have a series on our hands. All right, that was Celts and Hindustanis and Byzantines and Tatars over Turks and Magyars and Aztecs and Wei. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mess with the Taiwanese AoE gamers. All right, I'm gonna get some more coffee, guys. I'll be right back. Vitality looking like they won't qualify for their own land. That would be pretty funny. I forgot they're playing the finals at the Garrison. And I'm afraid I cannot force them to start the game, AoE fan. It's not in my power. I've got the power! Not really. That's kind of the issue. Manually making peanut butter? I don't think so. It's really hard to start a game of AoE, guys. Any minute now. I mean, they were pretty slow between games. All right, I hear the power of the pan flute as we are in game number 3 and all tied up at 1-1. Khmer flank here for Pahehu. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, you could chop through. You could conceivably chop through. I mean, they're not going to want to do that, and they're going to want their admin, which, you know, you can't blame them, but... You know. You know. Which means more waiting. Yep. And treacle mining. Speaking of treacle, I need to make some molasses cookies for my family as well. I do love molasses cookies. I think molasses and treacle are the same thing. Oh, okay, so treacle is the British term for a blend of cane, molasses, and refiner's syrup. Okay. I mean, that, like, in theory, you could play that. It's literally one tree. And it's the ultimate safe pond. The Mexican getting all what the Spanish call paella? What? How's Dash is doing just fine. Hello, Mason Cox. Welcome back. What's the issue this time? Fine. Okay. Real talk? What's the issue? I mean, yeah, it's one lake, but you still have... It's basically the size of two lakes that just spawn next to each other. I guess there might even be one more fish here. Oh. It would help if I actually showed you guys. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I don't see how this is an issue. Yeah. Pond there. Pond there. I guess this one has one less shorefish, actually. I don't really get why this is a lakery. Yep, and we are in the quarterfinals of said Rage Forest tournament. Been a lot of fun. Well, I mean, but that's not a big deal. Like, it's still in terms of surface area, it's the same size. All right, let's try this again. One pond, and it's by the pocket. No issues here. All right, so great series so far regardless. No Zombie's going to be here in the red as the Berbers on the flank for Team ACCM. Grinchy's going to be the yellow Slavs in the pocket. ACCM's going to be the purple Saracens in the other pocket. And Menunez is going to be the orange Incas on the north flank. Their opponents, winning the last one in very impressive fashion, will have Pahehu as the blue Khmer on the flank. TaToH is the green Ethiopians in the pocket. Dragonstar is the cyan Romans in the other pocket. And Moray as the gray 2PE on the west flank. Choke points here. We have a bifurcated choke point. Two pretty small ones, but they both lead to the exact same place, so... that is all even Stevens. You can see Grinchy already coming forward for this middle choke point that goes right between the pockets. And then there's a huge choke point. I guess it's not that huge. An above average choke point over here to the north that's already getting walled by orange. All right, so let's take a gander here. Other side of the board? Yeah. Whatever. Interesting Civ matchup for sure. So, Incas versus Khmer. On the one hand, Incas are a pretty bad flank Civ. But they should be good against Khmer. Like, what do Khmer even do on flank? I genuinely don't know. Incas can tower rush into, you know, Kameyuks, essentially. I mean, I guess Khmer could go Scorpions, but you're gonna die horribly to the Onagers. Incas can also go Arb if they want to. Why? Like, why would you... Oh, sneaky, sneaky. Is he gonna sneak? Belleville's gonna be found out. Into Scorps? Maybe. I'm quite curious, though. Get out of here with this nonsense. But yes, like, Incas are a weak Civ, but they still fill the role of flank. It feels a bit better than Khmer do. Already we have the wall up here in the back. Other side, we still have the Vil fight stuff happening. 2P versus Berbers. Now, 2P do have the advantage in a quick Castle Age. Like, in early Castle Age, they're much better on low eco than Berbers are. But Berbers scale so much better into the late game. They are comically better in the long run. So 2P are still going to be a pretty rough Civ. The thing is, 2P are kind of worse Mayans when it comes to Black Forest. Because, no, on top of not having the good team bonus, you also don't have the fortified wall. I mean, the extra tower space, pop space, is actually pretty nice, but not like that big a deal. Get some shanking. Pocket combos, Romans, and Ethiopians. So, obviously, Siege for Ethiopians. I guess they could go full Scorp. I mean, like, they got the Scorp stuff, right? Romans, reduced minimum range for Scorpions, extra range from Khmer, and you could get torsion engines for Ethiopians. Like, you can go full Scorp. You can say 4 Scorps and 7 years ago, our founders came together for something. Still, the actual power level feels pretty low, and you've got no mobility whatsoever. Like, maybe Khmer eventually get into elephants, and then you go, like, Halb Scorp from Romans, and Ethiopians go infantry siege or something? I don't know. Maybe Romans go Centurions, but that feels extremely slow. Meanwhile, Slavs plus Saracens feel awesome. Slavs have a great boom. They love the fact that there's only one pawn per team. You just let Saracens get the fish boom over here, you farm boom as Slavs, and then you get to infantry siege, and it's really powerful. And then Saracens, a little bit slower in general, but they will have a bit more room to get to Mamelukes, and they can also go siege onagers as well, and on top of having gunpowder. So I gotta say, I like the Civs overall more for Team ACCM. At least it feels like it makes more sense to me. More Vil fighting over here, and this is still completely open if one of the players wanted to sneak through. 16 Vils to 15, so 1 Vil lead in total for No Zombie over Moray. I mean, I guess 2P prefer this because they're the worst Civ, so they're happier Vil fighting, I guess. Meanwhile, Menunez just on his way up to Feudal Age on 21 pop. Ahehu actually also clicking up. Look at this mining camp here. To trap the 2 Vils and build it 1 tile closer. Okay, looks like it will be just going for some knights. I mean, it doesn't feel like you want to go late game against these Civs from Team ACCM. Rinchi feels the need to wall back over here, as this is still open. And Gray is getting these forward walls, and is now a Vil ahead. So Moray perhaps a little bit better in terms of idle TC time. Gonna destroy that house. Gonna be very annoying for no zombie. But of course Orange is up faster and gonna start towering, and it's gonna be pretty annoying to deal with for Pahehu. Yeah, not gonna be getting to Castle Age immediately. Still just gonna need to focus on defense. Is gonna be like a Vil ahead though. I mean, that's so much idle time right there. It's obviously busy microing. Nothing too exciting right there. TaToH might just do some long-distance stone mining for 40 stone. Gonna start his fish boom. Stable plus blacksmith. And there's the stable for Dragonstar. Odd game. I mean, the Vils are still running around over here. And it's punching time. Meanwhile, ACCM... Does he have a stable? See the barracks. Oh, yeah, there it is. Bill numbers are still pretty even between the two teams. Both sets of pockets, rather, are on the way up to the Castle Age. TaToH will be up first. Gonna indeed long distance mine that stone, since he went a little bit there on the walls. Scout Cav just being annoying there. Careful. Still, 3 Vil lead right now for Pahehu, who is absorbing this pressure quite nicely. TaToH just going to add a TC right there. Likely add a TC somewhere else. Maybe on the gold or something. All the way over there, actually. And it's just going to be Night Siege here from the other pocket, from Dragonstar. Roman's going to be a very good civ at doing that. We'll have to see if anyone's going for the Super Scorps. But yeah, great defense so far from Pahehu. Those stone walls will be completed for Menunez. At the very least, Incas actually do have good defenses. They're the only civ of the South American civs with good defenses. Which certainly makes sense historically. They're the only ones that built a ton with stone. And they built a lot with stone. A BF? Yes. Like I said, despite the rating, I am quite confident Pahehu is a better AoE 2 player than I am. Dragonstar is actually going to open with a ram, and is now going to add scorpions behind it. Meanwhile, Grinchy will have his cheap mangonel as the Slavs, and also going for some knights. ACCM, meanwhile, will have some Saracen camels to assist as well. Just going to leave things to their own devices. But that will leave TaToH as the only player who isn't making military. And Tatooine will be just going for a big old boom. 3 TCs with fish already. His Vil count is basically tied with ACCM. But TaToH just not really investing into any army, so he'll be able to sustain Vil production more easily. But remember, we have the Super Scorps. No zombie. Classic 19.5-minute feudal age time. Moray's already there. Gonna be able to click up to Castle Age very easily. Does need the buildings, though. Might have even here for yellow. And I imagine with 33 vills, Red can get to Castle Age as soon as he gets up to Feudal Age. Got a Ram and a Mangonel coming in. And I think, like, against Romans and Khmer on the same team, you always have to open Mangonels. You just don't want to deal with Scorpions, I think. ACCM's still doing a pretty good job with his macro, though. He's still going to be a little bit behind TaToH because he is making any amount of army, but he hasn't made that much. He hasn't invested too much, and the camels are very helpful here. No upgrades on those spearmen, so they'll die pretty quick. I mean, guys, there are 6 Scorpions in there. There's Scale Mail armor coming in. Mangonel's on the way, but it's not going to be there in time. And that is going to hurt for the good doctor. Oh, boy. Yikes. Big yikes, and it's not even Big Nomad. Korekosawa. Well, now it's going to be on the defensive as Moray. Moray, does he have enough stone for a castle? No, he does not. I mean, he could use the market. Gonna rush up a siege workshop. Menunez here with his own siege workshop, but yeah, 4 vills ahead for Blue, who's going to add 2 extra TCs. Thus far, Bahehu's done a very good job defending. TaToH's got his own siege workshop and a couple Mangonels out over here, but like with ACCM, minimal investment. Also going to go up to 4 TCs is Bahehu. No idea what he's going to boom into, but Khmer do have a good boom. I mean, in theory, it would be against Inca's siege. You don't want to run elephants into Kamiyuks. Light Cav coming in from here, and I mean, right now, just Team ACCM have a much better army. That said, this is pretty annoying. Good attack round. And that Mangonel will certainly do its job at defending. You do have Redemption and Sanctity as the 2P. No Atonement, though. So they're not a Monk Rush Civ, but they can sort of do a Monk defense depending on the matchup. Oh, good Mangonel hit there, though, from Grinchy. Light Cav coming in from Moray, though. That converted Light Cav might be essential with bad pathfinding. Yeah, that was huge. Absolutely huge. If that Mangonel's still alive and the Monk can't do anything, there's going to be even more Moray dead vills here.
Oh, yeah.
And now Red, of course, going to have an advantage. I mean, Cyan has just lost so much. Weird walls. Team ACCM looking good on this side. Oh, random camels are showing up over here. There is a monk here finally, but yeah, very annoying. Meanwhile, Grinchy's eco is not that great. I mean, he's invested a lot into this pressure, but it's been effective. And now Red's going to be adding eco behind it, and, like, Moray can't do anything. Again, granted, Moray's Civ is very bad, but you still need to have all the players online that you can get. And ACCM's boom has also been quite good at keeping up with his counterparts. Although, again, I guess they invested pretty similar amounts into units. Several camels versus several Mangonels. Also, what happened to chat, man? Why is it dead? I guess there's, like, nobody watching. Feels bad, man. I'm dead? Yeah. Uh-huh. I feel like I'm actually doing real commentary. It feels weird. Set up with a printer? Oh, that's a losing battle. Fourth TC here for No Zombie. Imp is on the way for TaToH. He's going to be the first player up. Nobody? Yep. You bet. Always criticizing? You bet I am. Have you not noticed that I'm, like, literally the most toxic streamer ever? We're paying attention instead of talking food. Exactly. Alright, blue is also going to click up dip. Again, Pahejo's played really well this game. I still have no idea what he's going to do, but the defense has been good. The boom behind it's been good. ACCM going to come forward with his own siege. He's also on the way up to imp. Hemlock Ornlu. Because I'm toxic. That seems fair. Alright, now the layers of walls are coming in here for no zombie. Fortified wall as well. I mean, you want to get to camel archers in this matchup, so... having to spend so much stone on walling isn't really what you want to do with the Berbers. First castle's in, and the Mamelukes are on the way for ACCM. I mean, Halb Siege should still be pretty good against the Mamelukes. I mean, this is going to have to probably be deleted as a castle. Oh, that is a lot of walls. Got Capture him and Onager both coming in immediately. So weird to see this line of houses. Needs to click up a little early. Well, he invested a lot into Castle Age pressure, so it slows down his boom. You can see TaToH and ACCM have way larger economies because they invested much less into military. Well, that Mangonel doesn't even get the kill. Looks going to be a bit annoying there. I mean, blue has a nice advantage over orange. I just don't know what's going to actually be useful that he does. He's getting bloodlines. Is he just going to try and go into ballista elephants? Against two of the best siege onager civs? That feels pretty tough. Counterweights is coming in. Got ballistas. Oh boy. I kind of like how Team TaToH's gone about this game. Except, I mean, Gray's obviously in a terrible spot. Literally less than half the vills of red. To outplay ACCM, that's fair. That's totally fair. SO now coming in for TaToH, SO for ACCM. Now, I think most people would still put Ethiopian siege onagers above Saracen siege onagers, but they're both really good. Both have a shorter area, like you can micro a bit more easily when it comes to taking out enemy siege weapons. Like, neither have extra range, but within the siege onager's existing blast radius, the actual distance you need to be doing enough damage to kill the enemy siege onagers is closer. And you just have more area overall, so that, I guess, line is pushed further out for how close you need to be. Not the boars! Yeah, blue's going ballista ellies, guys. I really don't see how that does anything here, but you know what? You know what, guys? But hey, who's not letting his dreams be dreams? Torsion engine's gonna be coming in too. Yeah, what the heck can Dragonstar even do here as Romans? Gonna try and go Rams. I mean, we got the glorious Ethiopian siege onagers, and I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Orange is actually going for some slingers to deal with Halb, so yeah, that checks out. Inca slingers are quite good. You can do that on a relatively small eco. Ellie, Ballista Ellie! And of course, both these siege civs have bombard cannons as well. Interesting that ACCM just like with Mongols, isn't going for his unique unit much. Is really just focused on the siege. 174 vills even. Which is okay if you're going heavy siege. But Ethiopians get the advantage of also having better bombard cannons, whereas Saracens, it's just onagers and trebuchets. Grinchy's going to be here with his Slav infantry. That's going to be where the ballista Ellies shine, but it still feels like a pretty tough ask. Ray just now clicking up to Imp. Red. Still in Castle Age. There's Elite Mamluk and Bamaristan coming in. Actually, having a huge, like, area that they're opening up. Gonna get a couple nice snags there as TaToH. I mean, we're just looking at two teams really build up their death balls. Another castle here for Pahehu. He's got Elite Ballista Elephant in. Got Druzhina on the way. And, yeah, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. All right, big push over here, but we already have defensive auditors in for Grinchy. Ah, here we are. The push has finally started. You got the slingers doing damage here at the back. The siege auditors get a good hit on the Slav infantry. The ballista elephants are just moving back at the moment. And now... oh, the Saracen siege is coming forward too. Auditors here at the back! Oh! It feels like TaToH's doing a better job of keeping a siege alive overall. The bombard cannon control has honestly felt like a difference maker. Incas also offer good tower support. Decent monks as well. And now the elite Mamluks are also going to be here to support. The Roman Scorps are arriving. Got some halbs, some siege rams. Still trying to cut around over here. I mean, eventually you'll be able to cut through here, but that's going to be some time yet. Oh, did you see that? Huge hit right there for ACCM. Oh my goodness, Heresy's coming in now for TaToH, but that is a Treebeard certified hit. You got the Treb supporting us back. Remember, the Treb's for Saracens are also very good at taking down the buildings. This watchtower is not really doing much. I mean, it just feels like you're running these ballista elephants into huge siege mistakes. Romans, it feels like they're really going to struggle to contribute. They're still cutting through. Like, eventually they will cut through. Don't know how much these guys know about this. Seems like they have an idea, at least. Yeah. Team TaToH still have the army value advantage. Basically, onagers just killing each other. Good hits there from TaToH. He's also going to have Faith. I mean, he's got Heresy and Faith. And you're getting right here to the markets. So this extremely circuitous counterattack is finally going to be running its course. Ray also, I guess, could support with some Blackwood Archers. Not that I'm sure what Blackwood Archers do against all this stuff. Or if you're going to try and switch into some Chompies. Chompies would be very good if you could dart around the siege onagers. Mamluks coming back over here. Camel Archers now for no zombie, but you got to be careful of those siege rams. Oh, wow, boy, hold on. Blackwood Archers making their way in over here. Oh, this wall wasn't completed. Uh-oh. Oh, Moray showing up to the party, and suddenly Team TaToH looking to be in a good spot. That's being held for now. You got Centurion stuff coming in, but this is a lot of trade that's going to be killed by the frickin' Blackwood Archers, not what you would anticipate. Oh no, that hole is not good. That is for darn sure. The towers here at the front are nice, but that's still a lot of siege. 9 range Scorps for Khmer. This push is completely forestalled. This is still open to Moray. It's that Magrebi Camel's now coming in for red, but this feels a little slow. Especially since red has had such a big eco lead. And this is eventually getting cleaned up. Oh, you gotta be so... Oh, no. ACCM, no! Oh, my God. Oh, no. That's a lot of dead Mamelukes. Elite Chompy coming in, Onager as well. Like I said, Chompies should be pretty good here if you can dodge the Siege Onager hits. Which is, you know, not a guarantee. But yeah, Fortune's Chaos, thank you for the raid as well. More walls going there to the side of the map. Elite Camel Archer slowly coming in. But right now, it is a 10k army advantage here for Team TaToH. Tusk Swords coming in. They're going to go both kinds of elephants. The Chompies are still missing a lot of upgrades. And those Siege Onagers just keep on dying. Camel Archer's going to try and slip their way in on this area, though. And that's not going to be the most fun to deal with. Okay, did get that wall done. And now the Camel Archers have found their way into the trade line. I mean, yeah, those bombard cannons doing so much work. Even the mighty trade cart must look on in total disbelief. Blackwood Archers are also going to start cleaning up those Camel Archers. Still missing some upgrades, though. The Chonker? I mean, we already have 46 Ballista Elephants. What more do you want? Yeah, no Siege Onager still for the Slavs player. I mean, only 100 bills seems pretty low. I mean, it's not like Grinchy's lost a ton. I'm surprised he doesn't have more eco. But now the Battle Elephants are here. I mean, Blue was able to get to Ballista Elephants and Battle Elephants before Orange was able to get to Chompies. Like, that's such a huge difference. I mean, it's literally the full elephant army. Trying to cut extra position over there. In come the Chompies. That's too many Ballista Elephants, guys. That's 47 Ballista Elephants. You need Siege Onagers to help with that. The Battle Elephants at the front are helping, but if the Siege Onagers can come here at the back, that's terrible for those Ballista Elephants. Uh-oh! Still some more stray units over here at Team TaToH with a huge advantage in population. And yet, the push isn't happening yet. The Mamelukes, are there enough of them? I mean, you try and bunch up the Mamelukes as much as you want, but oh, you still have to be so careful about all of these area of effect units. And yeah, yellow needs these halbs here, and I'm honestly not entirely sure what Grinchy has been able to do. It just hasn't been enough. And look at this, guys. Team TaToH continuing to push forward. Oh, big raid over here. Like, way over to the side of the map. And this is certainly annoying. Hey, who says he needs gold? Tower's coming in. This is what Menunez can do to help out. Remember, you got 9 Pierce armor on these bad boys. TC's not doing anything. The Halbs there need to do what they can, though. Still nothing too crazy happening over here. And the fact that you have a much better army of Camel Archers versus Blackwood Archers really isn't manifesting itself. Castle still stands, though. No, it's not. Nope, last one shot, got it. Oh, that's a nice win, but suddenly, guys, this raid from Orange is doing what it needs to, guys. Chompy's still running around. Again, they have lots and lots of Pierce armor as the Incas. Also, they're super cheap. Is this going to be enough to start the comeback? I mean, we're getting to a big blob of fully upgraded elite Camel Archers. Blackwood Archers are still missing tons of upgrades. And we've got 86 of them. Another push coming in here from Dragonstar. Oh. I think Fahehu cut over here to hide the eco, but yeah. Chompies are here. Still missing Blast Furnace, though. Yellow's got Siege Onager. There are fully upgraded Centurions about, though. TaToH now going to start mixing in some Scorpions. But yeah, this counterattack from Menunez was so critical. It really knocked Fahehu off his rocker. Okay, well, I mean, that is where Ballista Elephants are going to shine, for sure. But yeah, Blue lost so much right there. And now the Elephant army, which was once so terrifying, is really not what it used to be. TaToH should go Showtells? What would Showtells be good against here? Yes, Mamelukes are affected by Royal Heirs, as they should be. I guess they would do -3 damage, but Mamelukes would still kill him pretty fast. Yeah, they're great against the Ethiopian player's eco. Alright, more Centurions coming in. I mean, that's a really big blob of Camel Archers. That's 53 Camel Archers. That castle will fall, though. Still not a whole lot happening right there. 4 Siege Onagers are cutting. But Blue being at such a low pop is going to be a bit of an issue. Orange still closer to that 200. But ACCM's Mameluke control has simply not been good enough. So many dead units there. Fahehu does have all of his building upgrades. Camel Archers doing what they can. Man, Ray really needs some more Blackwood Archer upgrades. Not having chemistry or any of the defense upgrades. Gonna die in like 2 hits. Oh my goodness, those Siege Onagers did nothing. Castle stands. Those trebs were sniped. Ah, the bombard cannons from TaToH came in. Also, Orange is missing Blast Burst. These guys really need to check their upgrade. I know it's tough. I'm not saying it's easy. You're having to do so many different things all at once here in BF, but rounding out those final upgrades is very important. Castle will fall finally. And I mean, Menunez starting to make this really happen with the Incas. Remember, the Chompies get bonus damage versus Siege. And that is a lot of dead Bombards from TaToH. He will only have 1 Bombard left over here as more Chompies flood in. Few Battle Elephants are here at the front, though, and there's nothing that kills Battle Elephants from purple or orange. You need some Mamelukes on standby, but I don't see any. Okay, there's some back over there, but, well, like I said, Battle Elephants kind of kill all this extremely easily, and that is going to stop this push very effectively, even right at the trade. Am I dying? Yeah. Whoa, what is this from Moray? Look at this! All the way at the edge of the map. How are you able to do all of that and still miss chemistry and your last 2 archer defense upgrades? Come on, man. But yeah, now the elephants are back, guys. Siege Onagers need to come in here from ACCM. Castle there is also getting low. Okay, now the halbs are here. But it feels like you want a mix of halbs and chompies. It feels like Orange is doing like all halbs or all chompies. And the halbs just die to the ballista elephants and the chompies die to the battle elephants. Which is why you kind of need a mixture. Because blue has a mixture. Elephants will start to get taken down by the Mamluks. That castle still stands. There are 2 Trebs queuing up, but they need to be extra safe. This area is still defended here for Team ACCM. And they have much more available pop space for military because Team TaToH has a much larger economy. Still several keeps alive, not that they do too much to those ballista elephants. This looks like it has been cleaned up finally. That's a good hit. Grinchy has... I mean, his score is pretty good, but... Yeah, I feel like he's been struggling a bit. Menunez feels scarier right now with Incas than Grinchy does with Slavs, which feels backwards. Get any... Oh, you mean like, is it available? Is it possible to code Mamelukes with pass-through damage? I have no idea. I imagine it would be. It also feels like Dragonstar's been struggling to make an impact this game, but his Civ is also terrible, so... You know, it's rough. Well, halbs are here. The Bolas deal pierce damage. There is no melee range unit that deals pass-through damage. Bolas are also cav archers. Chakrams? Oh yeah, there are chakrams. So yeah, you should be able to code that in. Damage is... Pass-through damage is insanely powerful in AoE2. It would be way too good as a team bonus. Anyway, Camel Archer's coming in now, and right now it's Team ACCM who's pushing. Blue still has a decent number of elephants. The Torsion Engine Siege Onagers, not quite where they need to be. TaToH has really helped stabilize things on this side, but the Emperor could not be everywhere at once. And now this push happening from red with a little bit of SO assistance from yellow could end up being decisive. Centurion's still running around, but just never really in especially impressive numbers. That castle still stands, though. The Trebs are gone. I mean, this is tough, though. I mean, you need TaToH over here to really deal with this. This is where 2P are really going to feel pretty underwhelming. I honestly think if the late game civs were a little bit better, Team TaToH might have been able to win this with like this push over here, but because you stacked Romans and 2P on the same side, it doesn't feel like you're setting yourself up for success. Why is not going chompies? Because he was worried about the battle elephants, but it just feels kind of weird. Again, it feels like you should have a mix of them. Anyway, now those SO hits are coming in. Oh, Gray. Oh, I'm sorry. He is switching into chompies, but he was going Blackwood Archers this whole time. I mean, yeah, like everything Gray was doing was set up for Blackwood Archers, but now he's going to go chompies. The issue with your chompies is that your chompies are still not all that great versus camel archers. You just don't really have anything that's great versus camel archers as the 2P. Good hits there. Very good SO hits. And I mean, Pahehu is still holding the line. Able to clean up some stuff over here, actually, is TaToH. I mean, TaToH's still doing so much work, but again, the Emperor cannot be everywhere at once. Camel archers go. There's 51. Where are the... Is there another huge counterattack? I guess there is. But it's kind of weird to send literally everyone back. ACCM just trying to do what he can right there, and this game ain't over. Well, ow. I mean, that still buys you so much time right now as Moray. Oh boy. Some decent SO hits there. This castle looks like it might finally go down. How much damage has it taken? 26,000 damage has that castle taken, but it will fall eventually. And there we go. This side, or that area is doing all right. Elite Chompy just now coming in, only just now getting Ring Archer armor as well. Feels way too late. Not like the best fight ever for those camel archers, but they'll get the job done. It's going to be really tough to sustain. Well, they still got castles. Can Khmer get all the castle HP upgrades? Dragonstar going to start thinking about legionaries. And there are plenty of halbs on the field. Still, it feels like Team ACCM is gaining ground here. Well, trip those guys. I can't change my mind, then I won't try. I don't agree, but I won't try if you say so. Flat. I mean, I really think that Team TaToH just has a big Civ issue at the moment. Khmer would much rather not face two SO Civs. Romans just feel so unimpressive from pocket. 2P feel extremely limited. I think it's actually TaToH's incredible play with Ethiopians in the siege. That's like the only reason they're not dead completely. And also the fact that Pahehu was able to actually get to a very good elephant mass. But I still am just not too sold in the long run here. I mean, look at this, guys. More ballista elephants are going to get SO'd like crazy. And Team ACCM doing work. I mean, yeah, like, what's Gray supposed to do there? Oh my goodness, guys. Look at all the dead elephants. Oh no, it's a conservationist's nightmare. Menuna's never got Blast Furnace, by the way. It's so painful. Why? The Mumakil is no longer ready for battle. Got some siege rams. And now Team ACCM take the score lead. I mean, it's an hour and 16 minutes into this game. I feel like I've said most everything that is relevant. I think if Team TaToH has better civs, they might win this game. Their early Imperial Age play was very good, but just not quite good enough. I mean, this is a classic who's trapped in here with whom sort of thing. This is still in range of the trade. Version of conservationist. I don't know. My GG is called. You're at the trade line. Woo, doggy. Team ACCM 1 game away from the round of 4 to face Team Valos. Honestly, really sick game still. TaToH 700 kills. ACCM also 700 kills. Almost that for no zombie. Of course, I was against 2P. I just really don't think you quite have the civs to make that work. ACCM definitely with plenty of trade profit as well. Also conservationists, indeed. Indubitably. All right, that was Saracens and Slavs and Berbers and Incas over Romans and 2P and Ethiopians and Khmer. So a lot of low-tier picks for Team TaToH. So, I mean, that does make sense, right? Team TaToH really felt like they didn't have the best civs there. Other than Ethiopians, of course. At least, yeah, I think that's fair. I have relatives who are big hunters, but also fairly liberal, but not super liberal. Something left to shoot? Yep. Why do you think Teddy Roosevelt wanted to create the national parks? He wanted to ensure that there was more stuff for him to kill. That the Second Amendment? I mean, they're almost all extremely pro-Second Amendment. Which is kind of weird because, again, it's like pro-constitutional right or anti-constitutional right, but it's really more about establishing limitations based off of your constitutional rights. And the fact that, you know, freedom of speech is not something that is... like, that doesn't change over time. Like, human speech and communication and the need for the actual, you know, having public, fair, open discourse, like, that doesn't change. The right to bear arms actually specifically concerns a piece of technology, firearms, which is just not something that the founders could really anticipate over time. You know, illegal search and seizure, that isn't really based on technology. Right to a speedy trial, that's not based on technology. So it does stick out a little bit as part of the Bill of Rights. The Fifth Amendment, again, like, that has nothing to do with a piece of technology. It didn't, yep. I mean, that's like what the, you know, the literal people at the Supreme Court think, is like, oh, the Founding Fathers never said anything about internet regulation, so therefore we shouldn't say anything about internet regulation. Oh, I'll be right back. The citizens can't really match the weaponry of the military if they want to overthrow the government. Yep. Very true. We just decided isn't that important. It's one that hasn't been enforced as much as you would like. I mean, it's still better than some other countries, right? But obviously, the American justice system is not known for being flawless. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. That would check out. Make it, yep. Yep. But also, it was much less of a thing just having powerful institutions tie things up in the courts for a very long time because they can afford the legal fees. Like that, I mean, it was, but not anywhere near the degree that it is today. I mean, the world just looks so different than it did in the late 1700s. And I'm somebody who thought that, who believes that the Founding Fathers had some pretty darn incredible ideas and were pretty darn far-sighted for what they had available at the time. Obviously, far from flawless, the whole slavery thing, but again, based on the context of the time, I mean, a lot of the early legal documents for America are it's amazing how relevant they are still today, but also it's not like there's some sort of gospel. That is like some holy document that cannot or should not be amended or is completely perfect. Another hour of your life taken up by politics? Well, I'm afraid I can't make the game start any faster. And it's not like there's really a whole lot else going on at the moment. I mean, we could talk about the civs, but I mean, they can mix and match the civs however they want. It's really only in the last game when you don't really have all your options available to you that it kind of matters the most. Read the Constitution? You mean the American Constitution or the Constitution in India? Because in theory, the Constitution in India should be a much more recent document. Time as well as all legal. Yeah, and it feels weird that that would even be a discussion. As the way that humans live and interact with each other changes over time. And how they interact with the state changes over time. Anyway, we are here in game number 4, on the precipice of moving on to the semifinals. Really, really sick game so far. We'll have No Zombie in the red as the Mayans to the north. Grinchy as the yellow Uncle C-Toms in the pocket. ACCM will be in the purple as the Georgians in the other pocket. And Nunez will be the orange Poles on the southwest flank.
Hey. Gotów jestem.
Go to fiesta. Meanwhile, tournament life on the line, but every set so far has gone all 5 games in the quarterfinals. The Hehu will be the blue Bengalis on the south flank, once again with an elephant sieve. Dr. Agenstar, the green Teutons in the pocket. TaToH, the Cyan Persian. So once again, TaToH's going to rock the Paladin civ. I mean, to be fair, that was the game they won, is when TaToH was playing that cavalry role. And then Moray going to be the Gray Wu on the north flank. All right, so Mayans versus Wu. Wu are better than Mayans. They can do the Castle Age push with the Fire Archers, which is very annoying. Halb Traction Treb isn't a bad contribution in the late game. Wu aren't good, though. And the issue with Wu is also they're really bad at pushing. Remember, no capped ram even. And no regular trebuchets. Like, that's not good. So Wu are really going to struggle to push, and Mayans, they're not the best at pushing either, but Mayans can stall really well with cheap walls. And all the building HP upgrades for their castles. So I actually think that this isn't too bad for Mayans. And also, like, Plumed Archers tend to kill most everything that Wu makes. So it feels like both sides are going to have trouble pushing into each other, but Wu are still likely a higher draft pick than Mayans, unless I'm... Actually, no, they're the exact same position. But I would actually argue that Team ACCM drafted Mayans quite highly. Anyway, other side. Poles versus Bengalis. Yeah, Bengalis I think are just better. They can Monk Rush. Both Civs have a very good boom. I mean, late game eco, I guess, is a little bit better for Poles, although you can get Mahayana. But yeah, a big blob of Elephant Archers is pretty silly. Meanwhile, ACCM as the Georgians and Dravidians. Interesting combo, because again, we're looking at two infantry siege civs. Huh. Does that mean ACCM's going to go cavalry? Or is he just going to go right to siege onagers and towers? And then Grinchy just goes for infantry? Or maybe he goes elephant archers. That's also a possibility. Dravidians do have some options. Interesting stuff for sure. Like, Persians plus Teutons is super straightforward. Persians, top-tier cav civ. Teutons, top-tier infantry siege civ. I mean, I guess I like Teutons more than Sensar did, so maybe these guys value Teutons a little differently. No, Teutons were pick 2, so yeah. Maybe Sensar is the odd one for not valuing Teutons super highly. Or fixed prices lawyers are allowed to legally demand. Interesting. The legal system, like the insurance industry in America, is just, it feels like companies just charging each other exorbitant amounts, but anytime that a private individual is forced to foot the bill, it's just not intended for private citizens, so you're just completely screwed. Anyway, a big issue, potentially, is the pawn situation. The pawns are just chilling in the back here for Team ACCM. Like, insanely good pawn positions for the pockets of fish boom. This pawn isn't, like, the worst thing ever, although it is a bit more forward. This pawn is very far forward, relatively speaking. So that definitely isn't as good. And this is, again, where I say that if the pawn position is so determinative of the victor of the game, then maybe pawns are stupid and shouldn't be a thing. Or maybe you have at most one per side. Bloop. Anyway, this bill is still here forward from no zombie being a bit annoying. Insurance through your workplace? Yep. But also, if your insurance is tied through your workplace, it gives companies a significant amount of control over the employee and their family in terms of what they can and cannot cover, and in terms of if they're able to leave. Claims denied, yep. Because if you lose, you win, pay nothing, you're just 100 premium insurance. Oh, jeez. Atuts? Anyway, do I like the civs of Team TaToH more? I think I do. I mean, I like Mayans more than Wu. in that particular matchup. But other than that, I think it's just a much more straightforward set of civs here for Team TaToH. Which, by the way, is nothing too important happening right now. There are just the 3 choke points, or I guess 4 choke points on this map. If we go to a game 5, what civs do we have? We'd have Malay, Gurjaras, Jurchens, and Muisca, I guess? I feel like Muisca or Armenians. Go Malay, Jurchen, Pocket, Muisca, Gurjara, flank. Or Armenians, I guess, instead of one of them. Maybe Armenians instead of Muisca. That's, like, not great, but it's okay. If you're going to Game 5 as Team TaToH, holy cow. You'll have, Lithuanians plus Sicilian Pocket and Portuguese Shoe flanks. Guys, if we go to Game 5, Team TaToH, I think, might have this. That's the strategy for picking a bunch of weaker civs in one of the games, right? You'll have better draft options in the later stages. Good eco. I mean, their eco isn't amazing, but it's, like, okay. Yeah, like, they're an okay flank civ. The issue is that they're kind of worse than Aztecs because their monks aren't as tanky, which is obviously an extremely powerful quality to have for a monk. But other than that, they're pretty solid. They're similar to Aztecs, I would say. They have a much better unique unit to go for in like early game, but a worse one in late game. Vill counts between the two teams are even, and although I do like the civs more for Team TaToH, pawn position is still better for... this is so stupid. Team ACCM. And also we have a flank player fish booming instead of one of the pocket players. So this does mean Dragonstar is just going to be behind everybody else, all 3 other pockets, because he doesn't have a fish boom. Because he has green Teutons, he is playing as Bavaria. Rozkazania. Menounos is going to be coming forward here. I still don't love Poles in a BF context. But if we're seeing like elephant archers and like siege and towers, then maybe Pole meat shield with a bunch of cavalry units could be quite good. So that's certainly one way that you can work the draft to your advantage. Good job there for Menounos. ACCM already with gill nets in. The downside for Georgians here is that fortified churches don't boost up your fishing ships, so big sag on that. You just have fewer villagers benefiting from that bonus. For Dravidian boom into EA spam? I guess that would still be flank, though, for 3v3. So you'd have to be careful about, like, fast imp stuff, but yeah, certainly good. Anyway, TaToH does have a RAM here. You know how big TaToH is at downloading that RAM. And Persians, especially Persians with a dock, are going to be more comfortable staying on 1 TC longer than most civs. Meanwhile, Dragonstar is just going to be going for a regular old boom here with the Teutons. And blue is going to be well ahead of orange in terms of villagers, because, again, we have a flank with a fish boom. That said, it's not comparable to the... Well, actually, 41 vills to 46, but ACCM's already on 3 TCs and still booming. Yeah, so it's still going to be a much better eco for the pockets. That said, Poles don't do anything against elephant archers. Or battle elephants, for that matter. That is just not the sort of units that the Civ likes going against. And Team TaToH does have an overall Vill lead at the moment. Like I said, I think based off of the Civs in this game and the next game, they actually have the advantage in both of the remaining games. So despite them being down, I also thought they played really well in the last game, so I might even give them a slight edge to win the series, which is pretty crazy considering that they're down 1-2 and are 1 game away from being eliminated, but think I like their setup going forward. Golden Horde? The Golden Horde didn't have a bunch of elephant archers, though. I know that much with history. Yeah, just walls up over here. Nothing too crazy. Gonna just be a big booming advantage here for the flank. And geography saved everybody west of Europe as much as anything else. Geography and timing. You know, if Ogadai Khan survives longer, maybe they push further into Europe, but also the value of them pushing into Europe just wasn't super high. Pushing into the hills and mountains and forests of Germany just doesn't really make a lot of sense. No. Being down 0-2? That's true. But still, it's just like I was saying, the way that their civs are set up going forward and the way that they played in the last game especially does give me at least a fair bit of confidence that Team TaToH might be slightly favored to win the series. Anyway, Gray's almost to Castle Age. Red is still a little bit slower. Just some Mangonels running around. I mean, good, you know, 1-for-1 trade there. Yellow on 67 bills, TaToH's on 68 bills. So TaToH had a bit more of an aggressive approach, but nothing too terribly impactful. Oh, there's the castle. I looked and saw Moray not building the castle, so I then looked over here for the stone, and I saw he had no stone. I'm like, oh, I guess he has no stone for the castle, even though the time it took for me to look here to find Moray's eco over there was when he built the castle. This is a play all 5. It's the playoffs, so if they need a winner of the set, because the loser is eliminated. Anyway, Orange is going to be on 4 TC. He's going to try and catch up in eco, but, I mean, Blue's still well ahead thanks to the power of Bengalis. Would have been a raid, didn't have logistics to hold land that far into Europe. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a lot of reasons, right? They didn't have the... There just wasn't enough reason for them to do it. Well, build numbers are still even between the two teams. And the thing is, Gray is going to be on a very low eco. Red is likely going to be expanding the economy. Probably going to rush up Fortified Wall. And, you know, this is where Mayans can work just fine. And this is where I was saying at the beginning of the game, the one area where I think the Civ advantage is actually for Team ACCM. Because against Wu specifically, it's really tough to push Mayans. Meanwhile, Dragonstar is happily booming away here. 93 vills for him. Power of Teuton booming. Beretta. And we already have the Bengali player getting walled up over here. What do Mayans offer here? Walls. They offer a lot of walls. And like I said, Wu don't really do anything against a giant blob of plumed archers, so it's just really tough for Wu to push Mayans. Wu are a better civ than Mayans overall, but just not in this particular matchup on the flank. We're generally pretty bad against strong archer civs in the late game. All for humans, that's very true. Alright, ACCM will also be going for infantry siege. The question is still whether Grinchy is going to go for elephant archers or infantry. Hard to say. But you can see the plan here. Menunez fortified walls like crazy. Gonna go cav archers most likely. And then they triple this side. Whereas it's gonna be the same thing on this side. But to be fair, guys, is this really what you want as Team TaToH? I mean, you're gonna have Pahehu with a huge boom. But if he's just sitting back and playing defensive, you don't leverage that advantage you have as blue over orange. Because you don't need an insane eco just to wall half the map. So unless Pahehu starts building up a bunch of elephant archers over here,
Get you ours.
it might not really matter. Versus plumes? I mean, the issue is that it's really hard to push into Mayan. Like, Mayans don't need to win the game, they just need to slow the game down. That's what your allies are for. Dravidians and Georgians are all about giving you the strong late game units. Like, Mayans themselves are indeed very weak. I mean, Red's on 57 Vils. It's not very impressive. Gray's gonna be an imp, though. He's got a bunch of petards, actually, and just gonna go right into the traction traps, not even bothering with fire archers. Is fully boon for Mayans? Yeah, that's true. Unless you're Doubt. Doubt will go 5 TCs with Mayans and play out with 140 Vils. Anyway, Mangonel Wars really haven't mattered a whole lot. ACCM, of course, is Georgian's going to be all about those Fawn Towers. Castle up over here. And again, I just really have to question, like, what's the value of all this? Like, why does... Unless you're slinging, maybe. Oh, wait, you can't sling until Imperial Age. Maybe research coinage and sling? I don't know. It doesn't really feel all that great, though, does it?
Get you ours.
Anyway, we heckin' love traction trebs on this stream. And both teams are just gonna end up tripling this side anyway. Which, like I keep saying, negates the advantage that Pahehu has over Menunez. Like, it literally doesn't matter. Gonna start cutting. I mean, this is a big swath of forest here in the middle of the map. SO already on the way here for green. Get you ours. Anyway, Elephant Archer numbers are coming in for Grinchy. Okay, Siege Engineers and Bracer are coming in now for blue. I just have that question, like, what are you doing with 161 Vils? You're trebbing right now, but right now, Orange is just all about that stalling. He is looking to cut through and might be able to get some good raiding in. I mean, this is still completely open. And the magic of traction trebs. They're terrible at pushing, but they're great at defending against being pushed. Keep coming in now, though, for Georgians. Does he have petards? No, he just has... It's going to take a long time to get through this. And the walls are gonna keep going, but likely not in time. Okay, this will be seen at this point, though. Castle there is going to go down. Team ACCM has a big numbers lead at the moment. Overproduce army for a stronger push? People do that. Who are my top 5 BF players? I don't think that there is a very good way you could make a list like that. Because we don't really see those players play together a lot. I mean, the answer is still probably, you know, a lot of the actual pro players who play a lot of Black Forest. But Abunzo Halt, Temo, for like the pure RF players, Matt. Oh my god, we have some Teutonic Knights. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't counting the guys who are tournament caliber players otherwise. Samaro. Alright, so are here. Elephant Archers doing what they can in the back. The towers are still a little far away. They're not doing much damage at the moment. Yeah, Finhita for sure. I mean, you could say Balas used to be a tournament caliber player as well. I mean, it's hard to say. The thing is, like, the RD will eventually die, and you don't normally want to go all in an AoE 2. You usually want a backup plan in case the game doesn't immediately end. But yeah, we do see it from time to time. Not usually like, full 200 villagers, but like 100, 150 villagers right now for yellow. He will likely just try and amass a bunch of resources and then start deleting those vills until he has a big army of elephant archers. And now the towers are coming forward. No upgrades for these Dragon Star castles. Oh, that's not ideal. And Trebs are coming in here with siege engineers. Hera was never a BF player. Leary used to be a BF player, and so was Hart. But that was a long time ago. Well, this push is still very slowly happening. Very slowly. Hera was a BM player? That he was. Well, no zombies even coming in with a few Eagle Warriors, which are going to be great at sniping the siege weapons. Dragonstar's still missing Ironclad, too. I mean, he actually doesn't have a castle at all. Oh, no, sorry, he did get Ironclad. Did it just come in or something? I don't know. Let's see. Elite War Elephant. Oh, buddy. Guys, Team ACCM is pushing like crazy here. Like, this just isn't enough. This is way too slow. Wu are offering next to nothing at the moment. The elephant archers are doing so much work on this side. ACCM locking things down with the towers. What are those Savars doing? I guess they're going after the Trebs. Or something. And that is something Persians have to offer, are those war elephants. Their castles are super strong as well. Can stall for a long time with them. More SOs for green. Rather have Mayans? I mean, Mayans can offer the Eagle Warriors to kill Siege and the elite Plumed Archers if you really needed them, but the Elephant Archers kind of do that role better. Wu, what would Wu offer here? I mean, distraction Trebs. Anyway, say it with me. The Mumakil is ready for battle. How? Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say this just isn't working. 172 vills, and such a big eco that you can do nothing with. Like, this is such a, dead weight. And even Orange is over here with some Cav Archers, I think. There are 16 War Elephants at the moment. Oh, okay, well, those Cav Archers are going to have a very untimely end. Such a big lead right now here for Team ACCM, guys. And we might have our first non-5-game series. Green doesn't have a whole lot to offer. Dragonstar, way too much food in the bank. No Caravanserais yet from TaToH. He's obviously just trying to defend with his Elephantos. I mean, yeah, Gray has just nothing to offer. Red's also going to switch into Halbs. Elephant Archers are both a fun and a balanced unit. And this might be it. Unfortunate here for Team TaToH, but I mean, their approach to this game just was not good enough. And I mean, look at this, you've already have a wall of towers here anyway. What's Behehu's KD? 12 kills to 23 deaths. He's barely done anything. Team TaToH is trying to get trade established there, which is nifty. I mean, look at this here. All the spawn towers. TaToH only has a couple castles left. Doesn't even have strongholds, SMH. I mean, you have elite skirmishers that don't even have full upgrades for Moray. Eco? I mean, in theory, that's okay with war elephants, but it's just not enough. I feel like they had the civs this game. It's just the approach was not where it needed to be. And it seems like, guys, we will have Team ACCM versus Team Balos in the semifinals. The Mumakil was not ready for battle. I mean, yeah, everybody here is super overboomed. Almost 800 population for Team ACCM. And now, even with some help from ACCM himself, this side is likely going to start to fall for blue. Like, imagine if blue was building up elephant archers on this side at the same time that yellow was with his elephant archers. It feels like this looks so different. I mean, there's only 15 elephant archers here as well. It's just not, it's not much. It just isn't, guys. This whole area is all walled like crazy, except I guess right here. And of course, these guys are going to fight as best they can, but there is simply nothing to even really make at this point. With a big queue behind. I mean, a Savar weren't going to do anything either. Look at all the siege here. 34k army value to 11k army value. $183. Like, you literally just don't have enough pop space at the moment. Through the middle? I mean, they're trying, right? But it's not doing anything. Oh, blue was slinging gray, but, like, what's gray gonna do? Not a whole lot. Slinging somebody into making skirmishers is not the best use of time and resources. And this is it, guys. No 5-game set today. Yeah, Dragonstar, I feel like really should have focused more on the crenellation castles as well to buy some time. How do I get rid of this? I thought it was Alt Q. There we go. In the spot, it's the range thing. I accidentally hit the hotkey combo for range units. Anyway, GG, well played, good luck, as Team ACCM will get the victory and will move on to the semifinals. Crunchy's KD with the Elephant Archers is, of course, absolutely wild. ACCM destroying all the buildings with his siege. Much, much better approach, even if their civs were slightly worse. And they will get the 3-1 win. Show you the bracket? Sure. So, for our semifinals, don't know... Okay, that's going to be August 29th. Okay, so I guess that's just going to be on the weekend, so I'll cast that, and we'll have the league the next few days, I guess. But that'll be Team Valos versus Team ACCM, and then Team Barles versus Team Temo. So that's going to be the itinerary. Should be a lot of fun. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys probably tomorrow for more League stuff. we can go ahead and check the results. Tag beat Nocturna. Yeah.